WBUR Boston, and MathWorks, creator of MATLAB and Simulink software for technical computing and model-based design. MathWorks, accelerating the pace of discovery in engineering and science. Learn more at mathworks.com. And City Space Productions, WBUR's creative studio for custom podcasts that tell a brand's story to ignite engagement, reach new audiences, or establish thought leadership. WBUR.org/creative studio.
It's here and now. In Minneapolis, some but not all federal immigration agents plan to pull out. On Saturday, agents shot and killed a second resident of the Twin Cities and U.S. citizen, Alex Preddy. He'd been taking video of them. And our next guest says hundreds, perhaps thousands in the Twin Cities are monitoring, patrolling, tracking the work of ICE and Border Patrol. Let's talk about their work and their rights with Anna Hall, a community defense lawyer at the Legal Rights Center in Minneapolis. She is a member of the National Lawyers Guild. Anna, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Do you sense that after the killing of Alex Preddy that observers are more afraid to do it now?
I get the sense that people are grieving and enraged, but not discouraged from exercising their First Amendment rights.
Do observers get any training on what their legal rights are, right? If a Border Patrol ICE agent confronts you in your car, detains you, puts you in handcuffs, what are you allowed to do? What are you not allowed to do?
Some may have received some Know Your Rights information at some point now or, in the past, but there's no organized effort to make that happen. And so, some observers are encountering federal law enforcement and, haven't received any training of that kind, and others have. It really is a mix.
Understand. Now, there's an argument that in some cases, observers have been interfering with the work of these agents. Is it clear what interfering means or doesn't mean?
That's clear in the case law. It's clear, courts have made it clear what is interference and what is not. It seems that the administration and federal agents perhaps have a different understanding of what the law requires here. And when people are standing on a street blowing a whistle, that doesn't rise to the level. When people are lawfully driving on the street, that doesn't rise to the level.
How about, following closely an agent's car or kind of blowing whistles in an agent's face?
Minnesotans who are out in the community, standing on a sidewalk, blowing whistles, are engaging in constitutionally protected activity. Minnesotans who are driving on the roads their taxes pay for safely the way that would be lawful under any other circumstances are engaging in constitutionally protected activity.
So if and when observers are arrested, are detained, do you interact with them? Do you explain to them what their rights are?
Yeah, what we try to do is really emphasize to people both what their rights are and what they should do in the event that their rights are being violated, they're receiving pressure from law enforcement. And what we remind them is once you assert your right to remain silent, you should continue to remain silent moving forward.
Yeah. Anna, do you have a sense of how many observers have been detained? How many are in jail?
Very few are currently in jail. I don't have an exact number for you. I would say certainly in the hundreds, mid-hundreds would be my guess.
Who have been detained and released?
Correct.
Okay. What about the law as it regards the federal agents? Are they allowed, we've seen footage, to reach into a car, break windows? Are they allowed to take your phone away?
When federal agents or any law enforcement execute a lawful arrest, they do typically seize property that you have on you, including phones. What we are seeing here is that ICE agents are breaking windows of observers with whom they've had no other interaction, who are not impeding law enforcement activity and dragging them out of cars and taking their phones. There's a narrative, I think, that Minnesotans are engaging in violence. Violence is happening when ICE agents engage Minnesotans and not the other way around.
Since Saturday's killing of Alex Preddy, do you worry about a chilling effect that individuals, in the Twin Cities will decide, you know what, it's not worth it?
Absolutely. And I think that's the goal. I think the goal here is to chill citizens who otherwise might be exercising their First Amendment rights to observe and protest and voice their dissent.
That's Anna Hall, community defense lawyer for the Legal Rights Center in Minneapolis and Minnesota. She's also a member of the National Lawyers Guild. Anna, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
We have reached out to DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, for comment, response, but have not heard back. We will post their response on our website. Here and Now is a production of NPR and WBUR. I'm Scott Tong in Washington, D.C.
I'm Robin Young in Boston. This is Here and Now.
Funding for Here and Now comes from the listeners of WBUR Boston and from the Music Emporium, guitar sellers for more than 55 years, celebrating the enduring presence of music made on the front porch and center stage. You can learn more at themusicemporium.com.
Hi, this is Radio IQ Program Director Nicholas Yee. We've made a few changes to the Radio IQ schedule, and a few of your favorite shows may have moved to a different time slot. We hope the changes don't impact your listening habits too much and invite you to discover some of the new shows we hope you'll love. The new schedule, show descriptions, and a downloadable PDF are posted to our website, radioiq.org. And thank you so much for listening.
I'm Morning Edition host Jeff Bossert, inviting you to check out Virginia On Demand, a weekday podcast from Radio IQ, which features the news and featured stories from our newsroom and contributors. Subscribe to Virginia On Demand wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to Radio IQ on WVTF Roanoke, WRIQ Charles City Richmond, WVTU Charlottesville, WVTW Charlottesville, WVTR Marion, WISE FM Wise, WQIQ Spotsylvania, WIUR Lexington, WEHC Emory, HD3 of WURV Richmond, and on 92.5 Richmond and 94.9 Fredericksburg. Radio IQ, a listener-supported community service of Virginia Tech, on your smart speaker and online at radioiq.org.
Fresh Air with Terry Gross is underwritten by the Davis H. Elliott Company, providing energy delivery services to
all who so desire to stand for a moment of silence and to remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good afternoon and welcome to our meeting for January the 27th, 2026. Regular meetings are held on the second and fourth Tuesday at 2 p.m. Public hearings are held at 6 p.m. on the fourth Tuesday of each month. Deviations from this schedule will be announced. The meetings are broadcast live on RVTV, Channel 3, and will be rebroadcast on Friday at 7 p.m. and on Sunday from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. Board of Supervisors meetings can also be viewed online through the Roanoke County's website at www.roanokecountyva.gov. Individuals who require assistance or special arrangements to participate in or attend Board of Supervisor meetings should contact the clerk to the board at 540-772-2005 at least 48 hours in advance. Please turn all cell phones off or place them on silent. Item A, open ceremonies. 1, roll call. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Radford.
Yes.
Mrs. Hooker.
Here.
Mr. North.
Here.
Mr. Mahoney.
Here.
Mrs. Shepherd.
Here. Item B, request to postpone, add to, or change the order of the agenda items. Are there any requests to postpone, add to, or change the order of the agenda, fellow board members?
No changes.
Mr. Kaywood?
No changes, Madam Chair.
Mr. Lubeck?
No changes.
Item C, proclamations, resolutions, recognitions, and awards. Number 1, resolution of appreciation to David F. Radford for his service as the chairman of the Board of Supervisors in 2025. Mr. Radford, can you meet me at the podium?
I can.
Will the clerk please read the resolution?
Resolution of appreciation to David F. Radford for his service as chairman of the Board of Supervisors in 2025. Whereas David F. Radford served as chairman of the Roanoke County Board of Supervisors during 2025, and whereas the Board of Supervisors recognizes during Mr. Radford's term as chairman, the county achieved numerous accomplishments contributing to economic growth, including Elbit America's investment of more than $30 million in facility improvements and equipment, creating nearly 300 new jobs and expanding its workforce to more than 1,000 employees, more than $150 million in new project investments since 2023, resulting in the creation of over 1,500 new jobs, redevelopment along Electric Road at Tanglewood Crossing, adding new retail and office space, the groundbreaking of a $12 million extended stay hotel in the town of Vinton, ongoing expansions including Mack Truck's $14 million, 72,000 square foot facility expansion, and the groundbreaking of a new public store along Bremerton Avenue, a thriving local economy now supporting more than 2,100 businesses across a wide range of industries. Whereas Mr. Radford has demonstrated a strong commitment to sustaining economic momentum through the workforce development and business support initiatives, including prioritizing workforce development to ensure local businesses have access to a skilled and prepared talent pipeline, strengthening partnerships with Roanoke County Public Schools to connect students and educators with local career pathways, supporting programs such as Manufacturing Day and Industry Insight Tours, which expose students and teachers to modern manufacturing careers and local employment opportunities. Supporting the Business Equipment Acquisition Program Grant, which has awarded more than $200,000 to 27 businesses in Roanoke County and the town of Vinton over the past 2 years. Whereas during Mr. Radford's leadership, Roanoke County took proactive steps to better understand and plan for housing needs, including initiating a county-specific housing market analysis study to identify housing gaps, affordability trends, and future needs, using data-driven analysis to guide long-term planning and ensure housing options align with the needs of current and future residents. Whereas Mr. Radford has been a strong advocate for transportation, safety, and outdoor connectivity projects that enhance quality of life, including the official transfer of Explore Park to Roanoke County following more than a decade of investment under a 99-year lease, the opening of the Appalachian Trail pedestrian bridge over Route 311, the continued success of McAfee Knob Trailhead Shuttle, providing nearly 2,000 rides and reducing congestion at a nationally recognized destination, the adoption of Safe Streets and Roads for All initiative to identify high crash corridors and guide safety improvements in coordination with VDOT. The completion of 4 major greenway segments, including the Roanoke River Greenway to Explore Park, Glade Creek Greenway, significant portions of the East Roanoke River Greenway, and Phase 1 of the West Roanoke River Greenway in partnership with the City of Salem. More than $17.7 million in combined local, state, and federal investment in greenway infrastructure. Whereas Mr. Radford provided steady fiscal leadership and focused on responsible governance and tax relief, including the enactment of substantial tax relief measures, including reductions to real estate, personal property, and machinery and tools tax rates, as well as increased thresholds for business license fees, delivering more than $47 million in total tax savings to residents and businesses, maintaining a commitment to efficient, responsible government while easing the impacts of inflation on citizens. Whereas education and public safety remain top priorities during Mr. Radford's tenure, including directing more than $104 million of the county's budget to Roanoke County Public Schools, ongoing construction of the new $75 million Career and Technical Education Center, providing more than 123,000 square feet of modern learning space aligned with workforce needs. The opening of the $8 million Bonsack Fire Station, a 12,000 square foot facility staffed by 18 additional fire and rescue personnel, strengthening emergency response and community safety. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Supervisors of Roanoke County, Virginia, does hereby express its sincere appreciation and gratitude to David F. Radford for his dedicated service as chairman, his leadership, and his unwavering commitment to the citizens of Roanoke County.
Is there a motion to adopt the resolution?
I move the motion C1.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Radford? Mrs. Hooker?
Yes.
Mr. North?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mrs. Shepherd?
Yes. Do any of my fellow board members want to comment? Martha?
David, what a great year. And it's been a lot because of your leadership. And I've always heard that if you need to get something done, ask a busy person.
Yeah.
And that's you. You're a busy man. You've got a thriving business. You've got a lot going on. And yet we had a spectacular year. So we just really appreciate your leadership, your guidance in allowing good things to continue to happen in Roanoke County. So thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you.
Bill?
Well, Mr. Radford. You served as chair of this board during 2020, following me, during the toughest year that everyone faced, and that was the year of COVID. You got shortchanged on the State of the County address. I think it was a 15-minute. Is anybody watching me? I'm on RVTV 3, unlike the normal State of the County. And so I was glad that you were able to have a normal year this past year, and it certainly was a busy one with many things going on. I certainly hope you didn't lose out on any construction jobs because you were busy as chair, but if I know you, you did both well, and I want to thank you for your service.
Yeah.
And now you get to help guide Ms. Shepherd along the way.
Right.
And if you're not available, I know there's other people that are, but we have a great board, and we appreciate your leadership.
Yeah, thank you.
David, it was it's sort of eye-opening reading the resolution this weekend. It's so easy to get distracted by day-to-day activities, but when you step back and look at what occurred in the past year, you and we had a really good year, and I think it emphasizes, I hope, to our citizens what some of our priorities are. And clearly, economic development is our number one priority, along with public education and public safety. But seeing the list of all the economic development successes, and we got to give a lot of credit to our staff, but also under your leadership, it's been a really great year. Couple that with your laser-like focus on trying to improve the county's development processes on the second floor to help guide that economic development process, because it's not just bringing in the big companies, but it's also the small businesses and how they can make our life better in our community, trying to build homes, trying to build small businesses. So I think you crowned some success this year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, the most important thing I have to say is you are still, and I'm going to let everybody else know it, by far the best dressed man I know. But thank you for everything you've done. You have been fantastic to me as well as everyone else. guiding me along, helping me with everything. And I know how busy your schedule is, but you're always quick to return calls, step up, help, and do the job. And I am thankful that I have you as a co-chair to lead me along the way. So you're the best.
Okay, I appreciate it. Yeah, just to, finish up, it definitely is a tale of two chairmanship, like Phil said, in 2020 and 2025. Not getting really a full feel of the chairmanship, and this year we did. And I agree with Mr. Mahoney. A lot of the credit really goes to the staff. They're sitting back here, Sheriff, PD, and, everybody that was involved with, putting it together. Yeah, Paul, we helped steer the ship, but the ship was everybody here behind us and all throughout the county. I was just a placeholder for a moment in time, just trying to help, keep everything running in the direction that we want. And just thinking of all four of you, just Martha, we've gone a long way from Planning Commission. There's a little gap where I was, but while I was finishing up the Planning Commission, you were thinking about running for Board of Supervisors, and that little seed planted in the back of my mind. And
Her fault.
It's your fault that I'm here. No, I'm kidding. But very grateful of your mentoring during those early days and everything. And Phil, to me, you are not a king. You are a normal, regular person. And thank goodness you're retired, because you have a lot of energy. You have a lot of get up and go. You want to make sure things get done correctly for the county. I mean, you really have the best heart. You really have that to compliment. And then all the other activities that you do with VACO and all the other commissions and chairs. I appreciate that.
I just wish you'd go with us to Richmond once to see how
Yeah.
fast we move.
Yeah. Hey, I made it to the homestead.
That's true.
And Paul, I really appreciate your perspective. When I was on the Planning Commission, you were the county attorney at the time. Of course, you weren't assigned to the Planning Commission, but you were always there in the background. So you bring a lot of history to the five of us that we didn't know about, or we may have forgot. And so it's so helpful. Whoever's chairing at the time, it's always helpful to have that history and that knowledge and that background. And Tammy, I am so glad you said yes when we asked you to be appointed. We looked at a lot of different people in Vinton, and I'm just glad we were able to talk over the phone. We're in the same industry, kind of. You sell it, I put it together, okay? It's that simple. But we're so glad that you're on board and you're chair, and all four of us will help back you up. So
Thank you.
that's all I got. Let's keep going.
Here's your resolution.
Okay,
And
good.
can you meet us at the front for a photo?
Yeah.
Should we stand up?
Yes.
Phil and Paul, a
do
little
you
more
want
to
to
the,
say?
This way.
perfect. Big smiles, 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, you got to do the happy dance now.
Item 2, recognition of Roanoke County employees recognized in the Roanoke Magazine as the 40 under 40 young professionals. Sheriff Orange.
Madam Chair, members of the board, administration. We appreciate you guys taking the time to recognize these two gentlemen here today. I'm not going to read to you the entire packet that was put forward for their nominations, but obviously we're very proud of their accomplishments. We're proud of the fact that they were both recognized by Roanoke Magazine as 40 under 40. And I'll just give you a little bit of background on both of them. To my left here, Deputy Sweeney is currently serving as a DS4, and he serves in our rehabilitation and reentry program at the jail. Deputy Sweeney has been a phenomenal asset in that position. He has worked to create several partnerships throughout the county. He has increased our partnership with Roanoke College. You guys are familiar with our Inside Out program. He continues to foster that relationship. He's also developed a new relationship with Virginia Western Community College, which allows us to have college classes and courses available to our inmate population. Additionally, he's worked with Build Smart Institutes to develop an agreement where we can get training through them for our inmate population. And the ultimate goal with all of this is to help reduce our recidivism numbers. We want to see the individuals that come into our facility leave better off than they were when they came and to return to society as productive members. And he has done a phenomenal job in that area. Most recently, he has introduced a therapy program with his lovely partner, Liberty, here. And they do a phenomenal job, both internally and externally. They're used for a lot of our community engagement and outreach, but also serve a great role inside of our facility to help potentially de-escalate situations and help tense situations kind of be calmed with her presence and the work that they do. And he's just a phenomenal asset and resource to Roanoke County Sheriff's Office. On my right, Sergeant Wirtz is an administrative sergeant, and he works in our division that handles all of our community engagement. He oversees all of our school resource officers. Sergeant Wirtz has 17 years of law enforcement experience, and he has been a great partner as well. He has developed a lot of community partnerships, much like Deputy Sweeney, but his have been more so in the area of partnerships that help with us communicating the public more so than them coming in and providing educational opportunities. And so two programs that he has recently championed is our ALERT program and our CRAZE program. These are two programs that are designed towards training individuals, one law enforcement, the other civilian, in how to react in the situation of an active shooter. Another program that he has kind of brought back is our Identikid program. He has partnered with Carillion, and they actually go twice a month, I believe, is that correct? To the Carillion Hospital at Tanglewood, and they set up an Identikid there. And he's also partnered with our local VFW, and they provide that resource there as well. And they make identification for children so the parents have that information readily available in the event that there's an emergency. But both these individuals do a phenomenal job, and they're well deserving of the recognition here today, as well as the recognition through Roanoke Magazine's 40 under 40. Absolutely. That's anything you want to say? No? There have been a few words.
Do any of my board members want to speak?
Yeah, sure. Congratulations to you two gentlemen and what you're doing. Fantastic to get recognized 40 under 40. And you'll continue to do well in your vocation, what you're doing now. And we're just, congratulations and carry on. You set a good example for others, and that's the most important thing. So, thank you.
Congratulations to you both, and I appreciate your good work with law enforcement and the Sheriff's Department, and setting that standard high. You must have both started working with the Sheriff's Office maybe when you were like 16 or something. You look very young.
18 now.
Yeah. Appreciate your good work, and it's a great reflection on you all, but whether you know it or not, it really kind of sends the mirror back to Roanoke County. It's good news for Roanoke County that we have really good people working in our department. So thank you for your service. Appreciate it.
Life begins at 40. I don't know if anybody ever told you that, but when I was 40, it began for me too. Lots of good things happened. I mean, you work your way up to that age and you do a lot of carefree things and you live life to the fullest. But when you get to 40, that's the time of year where you're recognized. And I'm glad to see the Roanoke recognizes 40 under 40, especially since two of you fine gentlemen in public safety are part of that class. And congratulations to you. Talk about public safety, I'll just tell you, my uncle worked for the Virginia State Police in Richmond, and he took me over one day to the headquarters because I'd expressed an interest of taking a 2-year program at the community college in Lynchburg to get a law enforcement degree. And the captain says, JR, to my uncle, he says, Now, you know that relatives aren't welcome in the state police. Well, that was the old rule, but today I think they'll take anybody, especially legacy members. So that was the short-lived life I had in pursuing a law enforcement degree, and I went on to do other things. But keep up the good work and recognition, because people look up to you guys in the community when you're not even looking, especially kids in schools and others that want to go into that field one day. So congratulations and keep up the good work. Thank you.
I was very excited and happy to see both of you listed in the Roanoke magazine. And I think that just reflects the sheriff's leadership in terms of bringing forward young people. I view you young. You're the next generation. But you're the next generation of leadership for our community. And I think that's really exciting, and that says a lot for the sheriff and what he has done and what you guys have done. My ears perked up when you mentioned the Build Smart Institute, because several years ago, I think Mr. Radford and I did a tour of that facility, and it was very impressive. And I think your goal of try to provide some positive opportunity for those individuals who unfortunately get caught up in the legal process and go to jail, to make sure that they don't commit crimes again. And the way you do that is to try to provide an opportunity and a career for them so they don't have to go there. The SRO work and the community outreach, I think that is so critical. I think we need to show our citizens law enforcement is just not chasing bad guys. We're here to protect you, and how do we do that? And we do that through your initiatives. So I think that's fantastic. And I'm glad that the Roanoke recognizes that, because I think in the past, they may not have necessarily viewed what you're doing as a positive leadership approach in our community. So thank you. Thank you for everything you guys do. Appreciate it.
Well, all I can say is I know Deputy Sweeney knows when he has to come in here, I'm going to find him for Liberty. So I think Liberty showed up maybe a year ago at one of our meetings, and since then I have seen you out numerous times with her at different events, and I know a lot of that is probably on your own time, and I'm sure you spend a lot of your own time at Carilion doing the Identikid, which also I think is great, because a lot of times people just don't have the ability or the numbers to know how to, if in a panic, what they can provide to recognize children. So both of you are doing a great job, and you both should be very proud of getting 40 under 40. So, but neither one of you look anywhere close to 40, so you might be back again. So would you all like, did you?
Madam Chair, I was just going to say, that Identikid program, our boys, when they were much younger, in fact, I ran across a card the other day. We both carried both sets in our personal belongings, my wife and I. Do we put this in our county newsletter or community development newsletter? Is that part of it? Because if it's not, I'd like to include it so you can, get some more advertisement there. I think that's important. Because it makes me think, with my two grandkids, we probably ought to get that program for them too.
I still have my 25-year-old's card.
Yeah.
That I found probably about a month ago, and he works here now, but I've still got his card in my jewelry box at home. So that is definitely something we need to market and let them know that.
Let's get that information to staff, we can put that in there.
They're doing
If we don't already do it. I don't think I've seen it before.
Yeah, they do a great job of covering things. Emma's done a great job. Amy, they've done a great job of covering a lot of our programs, so we do appreciate it.
Amy will find out what's going on there. Thanks.
Would y'all like to come up front with your staff for photos?
You need to get out there with Liberty, Tammy.
Yeah, no, he's pulling your leg.
Well, I would have gone.
I know, just kidding. Don't worry about it.
Dogs are the best friends you can have.
All right, big smiles. 1, 2, 3. Just hold still. Liberty. There we go.
Can't see her.
Thank you, Sheriff. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Hey. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Your hands are cold.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. Item D, new business. Ordinance accepting and appropriating a donation from the Friends of the Roanoke County Public Library in the amount of $46,000 for use by the Roanoke County Library Department. Jim Blanton, Director of Library Services, first reading and request for second reading. Hi, Jim.
Hi. Good afternoon, Madam Chairwoman and members of the board. It's a pleasure to be here this afternoon. I'm here today to share details on the appropriation request for the donation from the Friends of the Library. We come here every year usually to talk mostly about how they are supporting summer reading. I've got a little more detail to share this afternoon, some new things they're supporting. The Friends are an essential partner and have provided funding to support a variety of library programs and initiatives for over 30 years. Their contributions have supported 3D printing services, the popular Mystery Night program at South County Library, birding backpacks for checkout, including guides and tools for local birding, library advocacy efforts through the Virginia Library Association, resulting in additional state aid resources, and of course Pepper, the humanoid robot from a few years ago. We all remember that. Along with these, they have notably supported the library's annual summer reading program. This foundational program encourages children and teens to read during the summer months, fostering a love of reading and making sure they continue to develop their skills while out of school. To encourage participation, we offer a variety of activities ranging from reading goal challenges to providing educational and interactive family programming at all library locations. Last year, program participants read over 45,000 books, and we're looking forward to another exciting summer. This summer, our theme is Unearth a Story, with a focus on geology and paleontology, so dinosaurs will loom large. Staff are busy now planning a full roster of fun and engaging activities to inspire reading and exploration during the summer and throughout the year. In addition to funding summer reading in the aforementioned items, this year the Friends have expanded their support by providing an additional $16,000 for enhancing programs and services for all ages throughout the year. They have also recently supported the installation of a story walk feature on the nature trail behind South County Library, which just opened last week, and thank goodness it was 50 degrees outside when we had our kickoff. A story walk is a series of panels, each with a page of a book, telling an entire story over the course of the walk. The story walk brings stories outside of the building, gets children and families moving together, and makes reading fun and accessible in a whole new way. The Friends make all of this possible by providing funding support for materials, supplies, performers, and more. They generate this funding primarily through many, many hours of dedicated work coordinating the annual book sales and the ongoing sale areas at all the branch libraries. And they also partner on fundraising opportunities with businesses such as Kroger's, Krispy Kreme, and an annual book fair at Barnes & Noble. And they're always willing to seek out new ways to support the library. All of these activities are a significant undertaking, and we deeply appreciate their efforts in providing this support for over 30 years. We thank you for your consideration of this appropriation request, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Jim, we did this last year, didn't we get a donation from them last year?
We sure did. We did. Every year they make a substantial contribution for the summer reading program.
Yeah.
This year is a little different because they've done a little bit more, not a little bit more, a lot more. They've added some for programming that goes throughout the entire year, plus the Story Walk program, which they actually funded separately. But
yeah, I remember doing this last year about the same time.
Yes, yeah.
So how do they gather their funds? Hey, do you know what they're doing?
Yes, if you come over to South County Library on any given day of the week, you'll see Friends back. They have a work area where they're constantly processing donations for the book sale. It is nonstop. They go all year long. Wow. And they have 2 book sales, which are large in nature, but they also have ongoing sales at all the branches. So if you pop in any of the locations, you'll see usually some corner or shelf where there's books for sale, which they do quite well with those too, even though they're smaller. But yeah.
Well, this is a nice gift, 46,000.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
They've escalated this year in a really significant way.
Yeah, well, thank you.
You know, I'm really impressed with the 45,000 participants in reading, summer reading. That is incredible, especially when we're concerned about kids over the summer, and some of that is just, it's spectacular that we got that many. So, but Jim, you personally, I'd like to congratulate you. You do a great job in this role, and we appreciate all your
Thank you
good
so much.
work. So keep it up. Thank you.
Absolutely. I've got a great staff supporting this, so it's not.
You do.
Yeah.
Jim, I'm always amazed at the wonderful work that the Friends of the Library do for us. They're one of those organizations that are kind of behind the scenes, but they've been very, very strong and very active for decades. I'm just amazed that they're able to generate that kind of money from the book sale. Now, I know my wife is one of the individuals that has probably contributed here, because she carries out boxes of books whenever they have the annual or semi-annual book sale. But if you've ever been to the book sale at South County Library, it's very well attended, and you can get some wonderful, wonderful books for nothing. I mean, I don't know, $1 or $2 a book, and some wonderful hard volume, hard as well as softback, and it's just great. So they do a tremendous job, and it's a tremendous amount of work that those people put in to get ready for the book sales. And
They are
it's
high
a madhouse
energy.
sometimes, particularly the final day when you can get a box for $1 or something.
Yeah, oh, it's pandemonium, but it's great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want to speak?
Yeah. You know, before I came down here, I just noticed in NACO, I always look in there to see what's going on in other parts of Virginia. And Fairfax County has a box, a sturdy box, you know, like one of those old postal boxes that have a lip and you can drop letters in. Well, this is where you donate books, and it's got something on the outside that says, here's where you donate books, and I think it's strategically placed at different places. I don't know that we have anything like that, because when I brought books over to the library, I was told to take them to Central in South County, and you know, I unloaded them, took them in, walked on the ways. Something to look into, maybe. You know, they did those drug boxes the sheriff did around different places like Vinton and over at the courthouse. That might be one thing to entice people to give books, because I'll be honest with you, when you clean out homes and things, you got all these books. You just hate to, you know, toss them into the dump or something. And many times that's where they end up. But like my brother and I, when we cleaned out our parents' house, he said, I'll take care of the books. And he took them to the Martha Jefferson Library in Charlottesville. And I think they used them for their book sale too. So, you know, accolades to the fine work that's being done to raise money, a good sum of money, I might add, for books. But just a seed to think about.
Sure.
Do you see any benefit, and you don't have to answer that, going forward to look at what Fairfax did to gather more books? Because if this is how much money we generated here, it's hard to say how much they generated in Fairfax.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's not uncommon. They do get very large donations that come in in circumstances like you're describing.
Yeah.
And they tackle it with the same enthusiasm they do with
Yeah.
small donations.
But that's right, you only take them to the Central Library here, the South County.
You can take them anywhere, but that's the
You can.
best place to take them. They have more capacity, they have more space to receive large donations like that.
You know, those boxes might be, you know, something to place at the other libraries around the county, the other four, and then someone take them down to South County, save people driving all the way across the county to take them to your facility.
For sure, and we're happy to receive them, no doubt, and they are too.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. Anyway, thank you very much
Absolutely.
for that report.
Well, I can say that I had no idea that you all would take used books in,
Oh, yeah.
or that you
Yeah.
had a sale. So I probably can hook you right up. I have lots of,
There you go.
I was going to say Danielle Steele and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
John Grisham, I will be packaging those up and bringing them to you.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for all the hard work that you do, and I agree with Phil. I had no idea you all did that And in my business, a lot of times people are packing up their houses to move and want to know what to do with books. Now I've got somewhere I can tell
Absolutely,
them.
yeah, we're happy to have that.
So,
Yeah.
anyway, is there a motion to approve the first reading of the ordinance and to schedule the second reading for February 10th, 2026?
Motion to approve item D1.
Second.
Is there any discussion on the motion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Radford?
Yes.
Mrs. Hooker?
Yes.
Mr. North?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mrs. Shepherd?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Item E, appointments. Do any board members have an appointment that has not been given to the clerk and included in the board report for agenda item E? Is there a motion to approve the list of appointments set forth in the board report for item E?
So move.
Is there a second? Is there any discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Radford?
Yes.
Mrs. Hooker?
Yes.
Mr. North?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mrs. Shepherd?
Yes. Item F, consent agenda. All matters listed under the consent agenda are considered by the board to be routine and will be enacted by one resolution in the form or forms listed below. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. Does any board member wish to remove an item from the consent agenda for discussion?
Madam Chair, I don't want to remove an item, but I'd like to make a couple comments on one of the items.
Okay.
I'd ask my colleagues up here on the dais to look at item F5. That's where we're going to approve the pre-disaster mitigation plan. I spent quite a bit of time reading this weekend. We had nothing else to do. And I've spoke to Mr. Manier before the meeting. If you look at page 71 in our agenda, and it is, I think it's page 2-6 of the booklet, and I've asked Tarek to get me the book, so I don't have to save this thing on my computer. They're showing a breakdown, population distribution by age, and interestingly enough, the town of Vinton, for people ages 5 to 19, have 11,478. When the population of Vinton is only about 8,000, I don't know how you have 11,478 kids ages 5 to 19 in Vinton. So Tarek has indicated to me there might be a slight error in some of the data here.
They're probably using the Vinton 24179 that includes Bedford County.
I'm not sure, but whatever it is. The other comment I'd like to make, I think it's on page 151 of our agenda. It's page 4-12 of the report, but it's 151 in our agenda. One of the risks is extreme temperature. It makes passing reference to cold, but most of the discussion is with respect to heat. In the reading I've done, nationally and internationally, more people die from cold than from heat. And it just seems to me that the emphasis solely on heat is a little misplaced. So I kind of wonder if there's a certain degree of bias of the folks at the PDC or the planners who put this together. More people die from cold. I know that doesn't fit the political narrative these days in our world, but cold is a much greater risk than anything else. I think on page 143 of our agenda, they have a hazard ranking table, and it has all of the hazards, and it all the hazards across the top: earthquake, temperature, flooding, wildfires, wind events, and then all the localities on the left-hand column. When I see the reports that county administration provides us routinely with respect to unfortunate fires in our community. And wildfires, I think, are a big deal. I'm looking to Dustin in the back corner. We show for Roanoke County, wildfires are a very high hazard, which I agree. What is a head scratcher to me is when you look at the column, almost everybody else is a low, and we're one of the few that are high. Now, a lot of the localities are towns, so they don't have wildfires, but there's counties there, like Craig County and Botetourt County, and I would tend to think that their localities are like ours. And so whomever put this table together, that's a head scratcher to me. Why, I believe wildfires are a high hazard for our community. But why isn't that a high hazard for Craig or Botetourt? If anything, they have maybe a greater risk than we do. I mean, we have paid folks handling fire. A lot of those localities, they're just volunteers, and I would think their risks would be much higher. So I don't know who in staff coordinates with the PDC when they put this document together, and I understand the purpose of the document is so that if there ever is a hazard and a disaster, that we can then apply for money from FEMA, and so maybe all we're doing is checking a box, and so maybe it doesn't really matter that much that some of the data is a little skewed. And I'm not suggesting we don't approve it. You know, it's on our consent agenda. We have to approve it. We should approve it. Thank you, Tarek. You know, this is important. And we deal with these kind of hazards to protect our citizens. That's part of public safety. That's one of our strategic goals and our purposes. So this stuff is important, and I just think the data ought to be important.
Madam Chair?
Sorry for my rant.
I have a question regarding your commentary, Mr. Mahoney, and I'm just curious, what are the impacts of what happens if some of the information is wrong? Are we paying higher rates in our insurances? What is the impact of incorrect information?
I don't know. Good question.
Madam Chair, I move that we've removed it from the consent agenda today, have someone from staff who worked with the regional commission downtown get together in a sidebar and report back to us in 2 weeks at the next meeting. And if it seems that these numbers or discrepancies or questions have been fixed, to bring it back on the consent agenda.
Is there a time constraint that we have to approve this by a certain date? Tarek, can you?
Good afternoon, Madam Chairman, member of the board. The answer to that, yes. In fact, this particular report is a little bit late, and the reason for that is, I'm sorry.
Move the mic, please.
Okay. Is this better?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
This particular report should have appeared before you back in December, but the reason for the delay is that the entire report was being reviewed by FEMA individuals. But I have other comments to respond to Mr. Mahoney, and also in general. This particular report was put together by the Regional Commission as being the steward of putting it together, but it is a huge effort by every municipality that was listed in the report. It takes somebody with a sharp eyes like Mr. Mahoney to point that out. Every municipality provide the information, and we had extensive meetings either online or in person. From Roanoke County, it was myself and a couple other members in my staff, but also the fire department and the planning staff. The numbers can be reviewed again with the Regional Planning Commission individual who is the steward of these documents. This documents mainly is to provide a baseline to provide FEMA and the individual municipalities' avenues to apply for state or federal funds. I'll be glad to take that report back to the Regional Planning Commission and try to adjust these numbers and address your comments. I feel they are, with all respect, is very minor, but we can adjust those. The purpose of having presented to the municipality is to support, or the board to support, to get the support, political support of each community to make sure that the community also is aware of it. This particular document will be, it's a public document and will be displayed at all the libraries and available online for any inspections. This is not going to be final until the numbers or the issues are addressed by the Regional Commission.
Thank you.
I guess just for the board's benefit, starting on page 207 is the breakdown for Roanoke County. And I think it's a good breakdown. I did not go back on page 207 and check the budget numbers. I'm assuming that staff has looked at the budget numbers. But my point was just there were a few things. I'm not, apart from 11,000 kids in Vinton, I don't think there's an error. I think there may just be a difference in judgment with respect to different risks. And maybe Dustin will grab me later and tell me I'm all wrong with respect to wildfire hazards. I'm not sure. But there are some differences there. I understand it is important that we have to adopt a plan. And even if the plan is a little off, it's worthwhile adopting it because it does benefit us in the long run.
It was a huge effort and a lot of hours got into that.
Madam Chair, if I could.
We have a motion on the floor to remove item F5 from the consent agenda. Do I have a second for that?
And to review it and report back in 2 weeks with it on the agenda, consent agenda. That's the motion.
Do I have a second for that?
I don't see why we should adopt something that has questionable data in it. I think it could be a courtesy check to look at the data with Amanda McGee at the Regional Commission. If we adopt this, we're adopting data that is incorrect.
May I ask a question, Madam
Yes.
Chairman? I want to know, with some of these issues that Paul has brought forward, just in a nutshell, does it impact us financially or our insurance ratings? Because I feel like it would.
My initial thinking is no, but I'll be glad to ask a question. I'll come back to the board or the administration, let you know. This is the second time we adopt this report or plan on my time.
And then what is the date that this needs to be approved by? It sounds like this is pretty much a formality that needs to go forward, but what is the deadline for it?
The deadline was December 2025, but we got an extension because FEMA had a delay. FEMA did not brought back the comments to us until late December. And it took a while to correct the points or address the points that was pointed out by FEMA.
So what's the extension deadline?
I really don't have a date. What I was asked by the Regional Commission is, can we adopt this as soon as possible? And the answer was yes.
And is it feasible to spend 2 more weeks and looking for a response? I'm just asking, it's a formality, but we'd like the numbers to be corrected.
Sure, I'll be glad to ask that question, but I'm not sure. I apologize for not having an answer. I didn't anticipate any problems because the information provided in there by the various staff from various municipalities, we look at them and you know, when you look at numbers for so many times, your eyes get crossed.
I understand completely. Madam Chairman, I'll make the second.
Okay. Are there any discussions on the motion?
I just want to add that I'll be glad to reach out to Amanda McGee with you on a conference call to point out some of these discrepancies. I welcome Mr. Mahoney, who's also on the Regional Commission, as well as you, Madam Chair, who's on the Regional Commission. They probably have sent this out to all the regional governments. They're all going through this process. Some only meet once a month. We meet twice a month. So I don't see any harm in just going over the data with them, because if you don't get it right now, they may never, ever get it right in the future. So it's a fair question, and it's probably a typo on a Vinton, perhaps, maybe not. But even then, 1,174 seems like a high number for Vinton. So
I have a direct contact with
what's
Amanda.
that?
I have a direct contact with Amanda.
Yeah, good. Well, I do too. And I will probably be giving her a call to give her heads up if I get a chance. But I know you'll do so
She's
as
probably
well.
watching.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Peter, I may need some help with clarification on this. Do I call the roll to remove item F5 from the agenda?
Exactly, just bring it back.
Yes, bring it on back.
Okay. Clerk, could you please call the roll, removing F5 from the consent agenda?
Mr. Radford?
Yes.
Mrs. Hooker?
Yes.
Mr. North?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes, with bringing it back in 2 weeks.
Yes, that's what.
Mrs. Shepherd?
Yes.
Yes, we're bringing it back in 2 weeks.
And then the consent agenda.
Yes.
Now you do the rest.
Is there a motion to adopt all matters on the consent agenda except item F5?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there a discussion on the motion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Radford?
Yes.
Mrs. Hooker?
Yes.
Mr. North?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mrs. Shepherd?
Yes. Item G, citizen comments and communications. The time has been set aside for Roanoke County citizens, county property owners, and county business owners to address the board on matters of interest or concern. While the board desires to hear from all who desire to speak, this agenda item is limited to a duration of 30 minutes. Each individual speaker shall be afforded 3 minutes to speak. Are there any citizens wanting to address the board that have not submitted a form?
No.
No forms? Okay, item H, reports. Is there a motion to receive and file the reports that have been included with the agenda under item H?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion on the motion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Radford?
Yes.
Mrs. Hooker?
Yes.
Mr. North?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mrs. Shepherd?
Yes. Item I, work session. Work session to review the Board of Supervisors fiscal year 2025 to 2026 mid-year revenues and expenditures with Steve Elliott, the budget administrator. And number 2, work session to review the Board of Supervisors, the real estate assessment process with Ken Fay, real estate valuation. Momentarily, the board will recess to the third floor for the work sessions. However, before doing so, I would like to move that the board go into closed session upon the completion of the work sessions. Item J, closed meeting. I move to go into closed session pursuant to Section 2.2-3711A5 of the Code of Virginia for discussion concerning a prospective business or industry or the expansion of an existing business or industry where no previous announcement has been made of the businesses or industry's interest in locating or expanding its facilities in the community. The board will discuss potential business location or expansion in all 5 magisterial districts. Is there a second?
Yes, second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Radford?
Yes.
Mrs. Hooker?
Yes.
Mr. North?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mrs. Shepherd?
Yes. The board will now recess to the third floor for the work sessions and closed session.